All right, everyone on YouTube, we are live. We are going to be doing a presentation. If you didn't register for the training, click on the link and come over to Webinar Jam where we are going to be doing this training, but I'll keep this going for a little bit on YouTube. Okay. Okay, cool. So far, so good. All right. Welcome, welcome, everyone. We have Joy from Texas, Amanda from Florida. Let me know where you're from. Caitlin, you've never been to one of these. Great. Welcome, everyone. Leslie from Idaho. Awesome, awesome. So glad to have you all here. Okay, we are going to be jumping right into the training. All right, so today we are going to be talking about how to start on Etsy without getting shadow banned. And I'll be covering my 3-step strategy to go from invisible to in demand. And if you are here, it means either you're frustrated by the algorithm, you're probably tired of listing products that are getting ignored, or you're terrified of getting shadow banned before you even get traction. Okay. So today I'm going to show you how to stop feeling invisible and how to start building a shop that actually gets found, that's trusted, and that gets purchased from consistently. So what I want you to walk away from today is clarity. So clarity on what Etsy actually looks for, clarity on how to avoid being shadow banned, and most importantly, clarity on how to build momentum without paying for ads or burning out on trends. All right. So I'm curious. Let me ask you something. Have you ever listed a product that you are super proud of, but then nothing happened? You saw crickets, maybe you refreshed your stats 10 times a day, you got 1 view, you think it was your mom or maybe yourself, you lower your price, still nothing. If so, you are not alone. Most sellers go through this, but you do not have to stay stuck here. Okay, let me know if you've felt that way. Have you ever felt like Etsy's totally ignoring you? You have no visits, no favorites, no sales, and you have no clue why. Most sellers go through this. Okay. And I would say that what you're doing isn't working because it could be that you are copying what's oversaturated and already way too late. Right? Because we've been taught that if we find a hot trend and if we just slap it on a t-shirt, we'll get rich. Well, that might have worked in 2017, but that does not work in 2025. Did I just think it was 2020? Yes, that does not work in 2025. And it could also be that your shop doesn't look trustworthy to Etsy, right? You don't have enough social proof. You don't have enough on-time shipments. You don't have enough reviews. Or maybe you don't know what signals Etsy actually rewards in the algorithm. And we have to remember, now Etsy is smarter. Their algorithm is built to protect the customer experience. And if your shop is not giving off the right signals, it's not that you'll just lose visibility, but you actually might get shadow banned. Okay, awesome. All right, now most sellers, this is what they come to me and they blame the product. They think, is this just not cute? Is my product just not enough? They say, I guess people just don't want this. But that is not it. It's really how your entire shop looks to Etsy, because Etsy wants to know, are you bringing in buyers that will convert? Are your listings actually selling? Is it worth showing this product in search results? Are your products worth ranking higher than someone else's? Will your products make Etsy more money than your competitor, right? Will your products make you more money? Will your products make Etsy more money than your competition? Right? If the answer is no, you will get buried. If it's yes, you'll get boosted. So it might be that your shop is just speaking the wrong language to Etsy, and the algorithm might be seeing your shop as risk and not reward. Okay. So In the next 60 minutes, I'm going, actually maybe a little less, I value your time. I'll show you the 3 core principles behind every top performing Etsy shop that I've helped build from scratch. And these are exact strategies that our students use to go from 0 to over 100 sales a month, often within their first 30 to 60 days. And I'll also show you one bonus lever that almost no sellers are talking about, and this is your shop quality score. So we're going to talk about how to get found in Etsy search, how to avoid invisibility in shadow banning, how to make consistent sales, and how to boost your shop quality score. All right. Now, if we have not met, my name is Dylan, and I've scaled to over $1 million in profit on Etsy, and launched my coaching program only after achieving those results. Okay, we've now helped our students generate over $27 million in revenue monthly, and I've become known for our really successful SEO strategies. We launched an SEO software called Etsy, which helps Etsy sellers improve their SEO. Okay, so let me start by sharing something a little personal. I went from a successful corporate career in e-commerce. I was working for Zappos and Zulily, to then feeling completely defeated. I had married someone in the military. We moved to San Diego. There's not a lot of e-commerce here. And I was walking dogs. I was picking up dog poop in people's backyards. I was applying for cashier jobs after having a 6-figure job in corporate e-commerce. And I was wondering if my career had already peaked when I was only 25 years old. And then almost by accident, let me know if you can relate to this, I put up a DIY decor from my wedding, and honestly, it flopped so badly that I actually forgot I had a shop. I was so sad. I had forgotten that, or I had felt like Etsy had just forgotten about me. And I really felt invisible until 2 months later, it actually sold. The product sold. But during that 2 months, I was so discouraged. I thought I was super creative, but then I realized it's not that my creativity is the problem here. It's just that I'm not getting seen. I'm not even getting traffic. So it wasn't pretty branding or a trendy product that was making me fail, right? Or a shortcoming in that area that was making me fail. It was my visibility. And the idea of visibility really changed everything. And since then, we've built not just our own 7-figure Etsy shop, but we've helped over 4,000 sellers grow theirs. Okay. Now, if you are wondering, is she just guessing? How do I know that I can trust what she's talking about? Let's cover this. Over the past almost 3 years, we have really developed a program that has over 3,000 testimonials, such as these on the screen. So don't take my word for it, take theirs. You can see Ni on the screen. You can see she, if you follow my mouse, scaled to over $90,000 weeks, right? Over 85K before Black Friday, and that's just in the month. We have Georgina. You can see this is just her last month results. It looks like almost 15K. Zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's see. 12K. We have, oops, there we go. We have Dawn on trend for 50K month, Jenna doing print on demand at 35K, and then Kelly just an order away from hitting 300 sales. There we go. Not so zoomed in. Okay, and then these are some amazing people. We have Alyssa. You can see the picture of her holding up her sign, 16,000 in a month. We have Anne-Lee, 66,000 in a month, 117,000 in a month. And then Chandler went from 24K in sales last year to then, or the previous year, to then over 160. That was what he was on track for, $160,000. Pretty amazing, he says. And he shares that March was great. He had already increased revenue on Etsy from 2,000 to over 7,000. And you can see clearly he did. Okay. And people always ask, okay, why are you teaching instead of just selling things on Etsy? And I always reply, for me, I'm a believer, and I feel like if God gives you gifts to make an impact like these results, why wouldn't you? And I really feel that it's my responsibility to transform and impact lives in this way if He has given me the ability to do so. And how do you know that you can count on results like these and results from what I'm going to teach you today? Because our clients have a 94% success rate. And with a program that relies on them doing the work and taking action, that's kind of unheard of with e-commerce coaching. And it's all because these are not tricks or hacks. These are business principles. All right, so let's assess your situation. Go ahead and type me in the chat if you relate to these. Have you ever wondered, am I shadow banned? Are you copying bestsellers and still getting ignored? Raise 2 hands if that's you. Say me in the chat if you've thought, why is no one seeing my listings? Or maybe you feel like the algorithm is working against you. Or maybe you feel like, why am I stuck while other shops are seemingly taking off overnight? Does that relate? Can you relate to that? Okay. Shadow ban. Someone asked, what is shadow bans? Shadow ban means that Etsy's decided that they don't want you to be visible because your shop has proven that it's not worth being visible according to the history, meaning you weren't getting traffic, you weren't getting sales, your conversion rate was a dumpster fire. And Etsy has taken that data about your shop and decided that future things that you list probably won't sell, right? They're using past behavior as a predictor of future behavior, and they're choosing not to show you. Okay, amazing. All right. Now, let's talk about this golden window because this is real. You have a golden window. And if your shop is less than 45 days old, or if you are starting fresh, this is your time. This is your window. Etsy gives new shops a honeymoon. Most people waste this time, and you don't have to. I am going to show you how to capitalize on this before it's gone. So this is a natural boost from Etsy. Most sellers waste this. Let me know in the chat if you've wasted this. And this training will help you maximize this. Okay, so let's talk about the first step to either avoid getting shadow banned or to help you get unshadow banned. So it's all about visibility. Okay, so if you are copying a bestseller on Etsy, you are already 6 to 8 months too late. 6 to 8 months too late. Etsy is one of the last places to get trends. If you are finding something that is a bestseller or ranking at the top of search, you and 100 other people are about to copy that person. Good luck. How do you expect to compete? How will you win customers when that has, all the reviews, that shop has tens of thousands of sales in it, right? All the social proof. How can you compete? The key here is not copying bestsellers on Etsy. It's really spotting trends before they hit Etsy. And we're going to do this in a few ways. In order to spot trends as they emerge, we want to be using Pinterest mood boards. We're going to be studying retailers like Anthropologie, Pottery Barn Kids, Lululemon, Aloe, Fiore, right? We're also going to track TikTok aesthetics. We're going to track LTK. Does anyone know what LTK is? Like to know it? We're also going to focus on upcoming, not current trends. So we're not looking at what is trending today, right? By the time something is listed in a trend recap, right? We're way too late. We are way too late. Okay, so a little example that we have here is one of my students. I'm not going to shout her name out because some of you would know her, but one of my students spotted the coastal cowgirl trend early, super, super, super early on Pinterest. She now completely owns that keyword on Etsy. She dominates. Okay, so you need to spot trends as they emerge. Some of my students use Pinterest mood boards to track color palettes, font trends, aesthetic vibes, and as well from brands like Anthropologie. Okay. We'll have time for questions. Don't worry. All right. The second thing we need to do is sell to buyers, not browsers. So, specifically, we want to serve high LTV customers. What is LTV? Does anyone know what LTV is? This is an e commerce principle we need to stay hyper focused on. There are two principles we need to focus on: your AOV, average order value, and LTV, the lifetime value of the customer. That means how much money is someone spending with you on average in their lifetime? So, in order to serve high lifetime value customers, we want to be acquiring these types of customers. These are just a few. Lululemon and Aloe Moms, we have to definitely expand. Excuse me. We have to definitely expand beyond just Lululemon. We are seeing a huge rise, as Viore. Now I'm seeing a ton of Aloe. There's other brands as well that are really kind of taking over that luxe athleisure space. Also, corporate gifters, right? That's not going away. Wedding planners, right? And the idea is wedding planners or event planners. Think about events and occasions that will keep happening no matter what happens in the economy. Weddings, babies, funerals, right? Remember those three things. Okay, weddings, babies, funerals. So, these are just a few examples of actual buyers who will be spending money no matter what. Now, the key here, I'm going to give you a few tactics of how to ensure we are driving up the lifetime value of these people. We need to follow our customers through stages of their life. I recommend minimum 4 to 7 years. We're going to build collections around events and occasions that they care about, and we'll use premium brand behavior to model your shop after. So, your customer, when you really think about this, your customer should be your number one product, right? Your customer, right? That's an actual customer. Most people don't think in this way. So serve someone with disposable income, brand loyalty, and recurring needs. So like that Lululemon mom, she also is going to shop for nursery decor, for birthday gifts, for back to school labels, right? One customer, multiple types of purchases in different areas of her life. Okay, so here's an example of one of our clients. Okay, she was struggling to get traction on her listing, and this was for a cute mug gift set. Okay. There's so much you can do with the hand-picked category here, by the way. If you have not looked into it with gift sets, it's a huge opportunity. All right, so this listing was very generic in the title, did not speak to a clear type of buyer. And once she then repositioned and retargeted this as a bridesmaid proposal gift box, then she included curated items with cohesive branding, then it actually became a bestseller. And she didn't change much about the price. She didn't change much about the contents, but it was really a repositioning play. So we have to remember that browsers, they're going to shop casually, often without urgency or intention, and they'll scroll, and then click and then abandon. Okay. But buyers shop with purpose. They're gifting for an event, checking something off their list, or ordering with clear intention. So speak directly to the occasion or recipient. Key there, occasion and recipient. I'd write those two things down in your title. And then we're going to add use case tags like client gift, teacher appreciation, or new baby welcome blank. And we'll focus on high intent buyers like the Lululemon Aloe Mom, so kind of luxury wellness, corporate gifters, especially for bulk orders, wedding planners or event planners, really great for repeat buyers because then you become a vendor to them. So these are just a few examples. There's hundreds of examples, but these are a few of my favorites. And we'll include the benefits of gifting in the description, such as being easy, curated, unique, or fast shipping. And then remember to price for value, not just cost, because buyers are solving a problem, not necessarily bargain hunting. Any questions? Any questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm here to help. Any questions? Drop a question. Yes, absolutely. Wherever you're watching this, YouTube, Facebook, or right inside of our training. Go ahead and drop your questions. Someone, here we go. How do you find on Pinterest what the early trend is? Ooh, there's some great Pinterest research strategies. I will tell you the biggest mistake people make with Pinterest is to look up what Pinterest is forecasting as trends. It's just the same as Etsy. Once something is a pattern enough for their editors and their people to say, this is a trend, you are too late. Oh, great question. Can Pinterest trends help with products for businesses? Absolutely. Absolutely. Remember, when you're selling B2B, there is still a buyer. There's still a buyer who's purchasing. It might be someone in HR, it might be an assistant, it might be the CEO themselves. But being relevant, being trend forward is very important. And remember, trends are not necessarily having cherries and shells and cowboy boots on things. Trends can simply be having relevant fonts, having relevant color combinations. Okay, Megan says, talk about SEO. Everyone says, fix your SEO, and I do, and I see nothing. My store has been open for years, and I have 8 sales. That's very sad, Megan. I would say, how do you know that you fixed your SEO? Did an expert say that you did it correctly? Because a lot of people will say, yep, I've updated the SEO, I've watched YouTube videos, and I know I did it correctly, but I still don't have traffic. And then we look at it and we realize, you looked at 5 different YouTube videos that gave 5 different philosophies on SEO and combined them. And all of those little strategies that you did are actually working against each other. Um, okay, cool. 8-week course. Okay, then you would definitely want to make sure that an expert looks at your shop. So we have a year-long program, and we have our 3-week Etsy Kickstart. Curious if you took one of those, but you definitely want someone to look to make sure you applied it correctly. And that is the power of having mentorship, is when we can evaluate something and give personalized feedback. Okay, perfect. We are going to have another time for questions. Don't worry. All right, the next principle that we need to do, I hear some questions about SEO coming up frequently in the chat. So we're going to talk about SEO now. We need to use what I'm calling emotional SEO. And this means SEO that sounds like a human. We need to humanize our SEO. And this is really the principle of having customer-centric SEO instead of product-centric SEO. So for example, you can see here, it's showing how people think, not just what they want. So for example, you can see I have pink mug. Instead, we'd want funny gift for coworker. Or you might see cute baby onesie. Not good enough. Instead, baby shower gift for first time mom. That is a long tail keyword, right? Extra long tail keyword. So we're using emotion, occasion, location, purpose, and the recipient. Okay. And our students consistently more than triple their visibility just by writing SEO in the way that humans talk. Okay. I'll show you an example of this. One of our clients, she had strong designs and in clear photos, really strong photos, but her listings were titled with really generic terms like pink mug, cute onesie, that type of thing. And after updating her titles and tags and the rest of her SEO, because those are only 2 of about 8 to 10 components, to reflect recipient, occasion, emotion, and placement as well, actually, her traffic and conversion rate grew quickly. So what do you do here? What is the solution? The solution is to write titles and tags and the rest of your SEO like a human, not like a catalog. So think like gift for dog mom, right? That's the purpose and that's who it's for, not ceramic paw print mug. Ceramic paw print mug is describing the product. Who necessarily knows they're looking for a paw print mug when they're really looking for a gift for a dog mom? So focus on who it's for, why they're buying, and how it will make them feel, or the purpose or solution it's providing. So you're going to use tags and long tail keywords like gift for long distance best friend, cute birthday gift for teen girl, Minimalist housewarming gift under 30. Did you notice I put under 30? That was intentional. Okay. And aim for words that trigger a moment that's like, that's exactly what I need, right? That's how people search. Okay, we'll have time for questions, don't worry. Okay, so let's talk about scaling fast. Now, Etsy is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I will say that till I'm blue in the face. It is not. It's hard work and consistency, right? We don't promise crazy financial results. Anyone who does, if they promise you that, run away. Run away. However, right, you can do things to speed up results, and that is proven. That is a fact. So let me talk about some of those things. We are combining, in order to scale quickly, we are combining order velocity and a dynamic product mix. Those two things are absolutely necessary. Without those two things, good luck, really good luck. So the key here is being willing to break even, right? If you have no sales, be willing to break even. Why? Because at this point, you're not just chasing profit, you are building your ranking. And would you rather, answer this in the chat, would you rather make a 40% gross margin and get your first 100 sales over the span of 10 years? Or would you rather break even and get your first 100 sales in 100 days? What would you prefer? Right? And the thing is, once Etsy sees you converting, it will give you more exposure, order velocity. That's order velocity, the number of sales that happen in a period of time. And then we'll scale using upsells, bundles, repeat buyer strategies, our different product frameworks. Yeah, most of you would rather break even, right? But there's a lot of resistance to doing that. So we're going to build momentum for the Etsy algorithm. Then we're going to drive traffic with Pinterest and Facebooks. We're going to stack our listings using our 7 product types that is proprietary inside of our program. And once Etsy sees you converting, it will give you more exposure. Okay, are you still with me? Still with me? All right, let's recap this 3-step Etsy launch system that will prevent shadow banning and invisibility. Okay, first, we're going to spot trends before Etsy does. Okay. Second, we're going to serve customers who have specific spending power, so high LTV customers. And third, we're going to use SEO that matches search intent. So we're not writing product-centric SEO. We're writing SEO that matches what the person behind the search is typing in. And when you do these 3 things, you don't just avoid invisibility, but you actually build momentum. Now let's talk about the bonus. Let's talk about the bonus. There will be a time for more questions, but let's talk about the bonus because this is your shop quality score. You absolutely have to be focused on this number. Okay, this is the secret score. If you're not familiar, what is the shop quality score? This is the secret score that Etsy uses to decide who gets seen. Okay, it's kind of like your credit score for visibility, right? Does everyone know their credit score? Okay, Etsy wants shops that get regular orders. So order velocity, the number of sales in a period of time. They want to see listings that convert visitors into buyers, so a high conversion rate. And they want consistent revenue across products, not just a one-hit wonder, one-time bestseller in your shop. Okay. So if you want to avoid shadow banning, you have to get your listings to be paying rent. That means well over 50% of your listings should be bringing in consistent revenue. And we will show you exactly how. Okay, so here is an example of this where one of our sellers focused on these key metrics that really improve your shop quality score, and they actually doubled their Q4 sales, and it was a very similar product mix. It was actually not by adding more listings, right? Despite the advice, just keep adding more listings. I would say the opposite. I would say rein it in so that your listings are paying rent. And they weren't adding more listings, but they were actually probably reduced their listings by a little bit overall, and by improving their shop quality score. They were deleting the underperforming listings, bundling their best sellers, focusing on products that have high conversion and repeat sales. And the algorithm rewarded her with more visibility, and her revenue per listing increased. So what do you do here? What are the takeaways here? You want to review your listings performance. So look at conversion rate, look at order volume and total revenue. Cut what's dragging your score down. So hide the listings, disable them, deactivate them, or improve them. If they've never been optimized, you might as well try once. Right? If they have low traffic and no sales, and then double down on what's working. So the more, better, new principles, right, from the Hormozi team: bundle, duplicate for SEO, and then create new variations of top performers. And the whole goal here is to raise your average, not just add more. More is not more. Okay, how's everyone feeling? How is everyone feeling? Jen asked, what would be considered a high conversion rate? It all depends on your price point. If you are selling an item for $1,000, I would love to see 1%. I would love to see 1%. If you are selling an item for $1, I would love to see a 10% conversion rate. If you are selling an item for $20, I might want to see an 8% conversion rate. Okay, you're feeling overwhelmed. Oh no, I've overwhelmed you. Winston, hi from Minnesota. I'm in Minnesota. Okay, overwhelmed. Is anyone overwhelmed? Okay, Pamela's feeling motivated. Okay, Emily, rather than selling to a particular customer, can I sell to a particular market instead, such as the wedding market? Very good question, Emily. And I would recommend not doing that for a couple of reasons. I actually sold in the wedding market as one of my experiences on Etsy. It's actually how I started. And the thing is, when you sell in the wedding market, I have a great example of this because I have one of my elite inner circle members. They do pretty high volume. Some of them do up to 200,000 or more per month. And one of them sells invitations in the wedding market. And her average invitation order would be between $3,000 to $5,000. Okay. She's one of my top sellers, you guys. She's one of my top sellers. I would not recommend blanketly marketing to the wedding market. It does not guarantee there's a profitable customer. Some people in the wedding market will spend 99 cents on a digital invite. Some people will spend $3,000 to $5,000. This customer or this client of mine who sells in the wedding market, she also sells for all events and occasions, every event and occasion. Birthdays, anniversaries, bar mitzvahs, baby showers, every single occasion, because she's choosing a customer and serving them through stages of their life. So I would not recommend targeting just the wedding market. I don't think that's specific enough, and that doesn't guarantee there's a profitable customer behind that market. Okay, any other questions? Okay. Okay, overwhelming. I think a lot of people are looking for more direct application. Like, how does this apply to me? What do I do in my first 30 days? Should we chase trends for Q4? So there's a lot of questions that are probably really about the direct application, but what about my shop? All right, can anyone relate to that? But what about my shop? Okay, so we have something available to you for the very last time this month. The doors are closing because this starts August 1st. I'll have time for more questions. I do see more questions coming into the chat, but this is the time. If you are like, I want to shortcut my first 100 sales or my next 100 sales or my next 1,000 sales, this is the last chance for guidance with our Etsy Seller Sprint, which kicks off August 1st. So if you are ready to be implementing all of this that we talked about today with having some expert eyes on your shop to show you specific implementation, we have opened up some limited spots for calls with us. Okay. And this is not just general advice. This is a personalized roadmap for your Etsy shop. So we'll tell you what's missing. We'll tell you what to fix and what to focus on. And spots are limited because we actually help. So if you are like, I know I need to talk to this team, feel free to schedule a call. We'll put the link in the chat wherever you're watching. But I do want to show you what the sprint is all about, because I have designed this to be 12 weeks for a very specific reason. And it's because over the last 3 years, I've learned a lot about how people learn and how they stay motivated and how they don't get overwhelmed. So I want to talk you. Awesome. Laura says, I'm in the sprint and I've learned a lot to help me sell. Amazing. Yes, this is our second round of the sprint. People in the first round are loving it. So the second round is kicking off. Let me show you specifically what this is. So basically, what this is where you will have private daily message coaching for 3 months. You'll have coaching calls 5 times per week, and these are group calls. You'll have private monthly one-on-one coaching calls. And then over 400 hours of our trainings and tutorials, weekly accountability challenges for 12 weeks. So each week you'll get a literally checklist of what to be focusing on. And then maintenance coaching for the following 9 months. Okay, I have some questions. Okay, I see a lot of questions on cost. Do you help beginners? Do you help with deciding what to sell? You're not on Etsy yet. Okay, yes to everything. Let me show you what it is. Okay. So first, let me show you the platform first. This is the platform that everything is hosted on. Everything is here. Now, again, if you are like, I know I want access, I want to book a call to see if it's the right fit for me, go ahead and click on the link in the chat. We'll put this in the chat so you can actually click on it, book your call, and we'll have a talk through. We'll talk through everything with you. Now, I know this week spots are especially limited because I will be going to Chicago for a super exciting mastermind with, I'm going to name drop, Amy Porterfield, Jasmine Starr, Jenna Kutcher, Bonnie Christine, and Stacy Tushel. So I'm going to be in Chicago for a mastermind with them, and spots are more limited because we will not have the same availability on the calendar. So if you want a spot, definitely click on the link and we'll get you one. And this again is just a spot to learn more. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this is, because maybe you're like, okay, I want to see what this is before I know if I want to do it. So that's totally fair. So what this is our platform. This is where everything is hosted. Okay. There's onboarding. So that's how we start, is with onboarding. We take you through how to show how to use everything. If you are in the program, nope, Caitlin, I wouldn't, you don't need this if you're in the program. You have access, you'll have everything. Okay, but if you're not using coaching, then Caitlin, this could be great for you. So if you're actively in coaching, if your coaching is currently happening, then you don't need this because you already have coaching. But if you don't have coaching, this is for anyone who does not have coaching. Okay, so we show you how to use the coaching in onboarding, and then we jump right into the course. So let me kind of take you through the course. Oops, I lost my tab. Okay. Okay, cool. 2 of you have already booked calls and decided you need help. Okay. Oh, I love this. Look at this. In the chat, we have a real live testimonial. I'm going to broadcast this comment. Laura says, it's easy to squeeze into your personal schedule. Each of the learning modules has approximately 5 minutes of learning. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for sharing that with everyone. Okay. So we take you through really starting from the beginning, setting your goals, achieving your full ROI. That's the whole point here. And then choosing your customer and your product mix. Some people have asked, do I need to know what to sell? Not at all. And some people are thinking, I want to start over because I am Shadowban. And this is, my shop is just not getting unstuck. I can't figure this out. I want to just start over, have a clean slate. Totally fine. Okay, so we take you through targeting profitable customers, all those people I talked about, plus there's hundreds more. We take you through that, and then how to build the product mix for them using our 7 types of products framework, finding trends before they're on Etsy, how to do that, Because honestly, I talked to someone today and they were like, would you just like do it for me? I said, no, because then you will never learn and the business will not continue to go. So this is not done for you. We teach you how to find trends because we want you to know how to run your business. We run everything through our 10-step opportunity checklist so you know if it's worth your time. We take you through fixing your shop or opening your shop correctly. So fixing all the listings before you put anything new in. SEO is huge. This is really important. SEO is why most of our students don't pay for ads. We take you through site merchandising. Most people don't know what that is. I don't know if anyone else teaching Etsy on YouTube has ever referred to that actually, or knows what it is, but site merchandising is incredibly important. Actually, e-commerce companies have entire departments called the site merchandising department. That is why we apply this to Etsy. Optimization for mobile, optimization for Pinterest, high converting photos. There's 18 types for super high conversion rate relative to your price point. Module 4 is the plan for the first 3,000 to 4,000 orders or the next 3,000 to 4,000 orders. And it's your pricing strategies, your social media strategies. It's all the different ways to upsell. There's 12. You really want to leverage all of them, at least in 2 different ways per listing when possible. Okay. And we show you specifically what to post depending on what you sell on Instagram. So you don't have to think of this on your own. Step-by-step Pinterest. Most of you know about our Pinterest strategies and have heard how well they work, but maybe you don't know what they are. And then module 5, we're almost to the end, the marathon phase. This is really about scaling. So once you're hitting your financial goals for 3 to 4 months, we move into this. We're planning and forecasting. We help you scale profitably. We help you with outsourcing, with email marketing, and with expanding onto other platforms. And lastly, we get into module 6, which is using data to make decisions. So no guessing, no gut feeling, right? It's all data driven. This is not going with our intuition because so far our intuition, right, probably hasn't made you money or the type of money you're looking for. So that's the course. And then we get into the topic library. Now, I love this question because people always ask, hey, is this just like the Etsy handbook? Hey, is this just like watching YouTube videos? Definitely not, okay? And as you're watching this, if you are thinking, oh my gosh, I know I wanna learn more, just go ahead and book a call. But this takes you through, it's like an encyclopedia, 325 hours, and we add 4 new hours a week. This takes you through finding your customer, choosing your products, how to compete, another 8 hours on loss leaders, 21 hours on the handmade category. We have vintage, 34 hours on print on demand, 17 hours on digital. And then one of my favorites, because everyone needs this, whether you sell vintage or print on demand or handmade or hand-picked, graphic design coaching. This is, I would say, 90% of people struggle with this in a huge way. And 46 hours of graphic design coaching and workshops and tutorials. Of course, photos and mockups, shipping, SEO, free marketing, social media, the sprint, the marathon, hiring, outsourcing, all the holidays, Shopify. We bring in attorneys. We actually have an attorney on our team, but we bring in attorneys and e-commerce news. Okay, now let's get into the final components here. We have resources for you, unlimited resources. Yes, we discuss Etsy policy changes first here. You can see even a month ago when things were updating, it came here first, okay? And then we get into our Level Up series. You have a year access to this. My husband and I will be teaching a money management class next Saturday. We have accountability, time management, mindset. We rotate through topics. We also do trend forecasting for you. And then we have coaching. Let's talk about what the coaching looks like. All right, we have 5 coaching calls a week available to you. If you did about an hour a day, Pamela, I see your question, you'd probably finish it. If you did an hour a day of the content, you'd finish the course in about 4 weeks. 4 weeks if you did an hour a day, but I would not want you to do that. I would actually prefer you stay in the first 4 to 5 hours 4 to 5 hours of the course for the first at least month. Okay, so 5 calls a week, 5 coaching calls. 2 of your calls every week are with me. Okay, what would happen if you had coaching calls with me every week? 2 calls a week, right? You can come on and ask your questions. You don't have to stay the whole time. And these are like office hours. So you could also just ask your questions and catch the recording. So these are all the recordings. They're posted right after. And this is what they look like. So this is one of my calls. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Oops. Okay, and then you can type your name into the transcript and actually find your place that we answered your questions. And then let's get to the final part of coaching. This is where you can ask unlimited questions every day for a whole year. And then we go in and make videos for you of your shop, of your listings.
Hi, me, Saskia here.
And we show you what to fix, right? So you can see these are questions, and then this is a video. And this video takes you through the responses. So we're actually going into your shop, going into your listings, doing competitor analysis, giving you custom pricing strategies, re-looking at your SEO, giving you product ideas, giving you initial customers to target if you don't have customers yet. So it's very, very, very hands-on. Now, if you are like, I know I want to learn more about this, go ahead and book the call. But I do want to show you this 3-month sprint and what this means. So in the sprint, you will see over 12 weeks, because most people can do things for 12 weeks, right? Most of us can do something for 12 weeks. We have weekly accountability challenges where it's basically a checklist right here. You download it and you can turn it into your coaches, because you have 2 to 3 coaches assigned to you plus myself. And this is your list of what to focus on each week. It's structured because without this, right, you won't get as far and as fast on your own. But the structure keeps you accountable. And then during the first 3 months, you have a one-on-one private coaching call, as well as another strategy call with myself in this small group that kicks off in August. Okay, great. We have questions coming up. So, okay, we're going to answer the questions. Let's jump into the questions. And also, if you're like, I know I want to do this, then what you'll do is click on the link in the chat, and this is what it looks like. You'll click on this. Looks like we only have not a ton of spots left tomorrow. You'll find the time. You'll click on the time zone that you are in. So I'm currently in Central, and you'll pick the time that works for you. And then you'll put in your name, your email, and what represents you most closely. Just pick whatever represents you the most closely. And you know it's not a free coaching call, so just say yes. You'll put your shop link if you have one, or if you don't have one, you don't have to put it. If there's anything you're struggling with, let us know. Let us know what your revenue is looking like and what your goal is like. And then you're just acknowledging that there's an opportunity to invest in coaching on this call. And then you're agreeing that you are the financial decision maker, and you're putting in your phone number so we can text you to remind you. So that's all it takes. And you get a spot to learn, just to learn if this is the right fit for you. But I do see questions, so I want to answer them. Okay. Okay, we have, 4 of you have already booked your call, but let's go through some of your questions. If you're thinking, well, am I gonna need more time for this? No, most likely not. This is built for 60 minutes a day, and you could see Laura earlier, I highlighted her comment. She shared that the lessons are about 5 minutes, so you can absolutely fit this into the pockets of your life. You do not need full-time hours. One of our sellers, Adrian, actually went from $800 a month to $8,200 a month with increments of 10 minutes here and there while parenting a newborn. So you don't need more time necessarily. It's about replacing the time you're already spending with the right actions. Okay, so even if you're working full time or raising kids, this is designed to fit into your life, not to take it over. Now, I'm seeing the call is totally free. I'm seeing some questions. The call is totally free. Do you need to run ads? No, you do not need to run ads. Nope, 95% probably of our clients do not run any ads. What time of day are the group coaching calls? Those are all different days and times, and we always have 2 or 3 calls on the weekends and 2 or 3 calls during the weekdays. All right, if you don't know what to sell, that is great. That's where we start. We'll help you identify the right customer, and then we'll help you design your product mix around them. So we'll figure that out together. Now, what if you already have a shop? Okay, that's great too. The key here is for someone who is ready to take action, that's who we're looking for. Because if you're at the point where the last 6 months is not how you want the next 6 months to look for your shop and your business, and you know you need a change, all we need is for you to actually be willing to make some changes. Okay, that's all we need is for you to be willing to make the changes. Okay, the most successful sellers in our program are the fastest action takers. That person where I showed you the chat, she went from a few $100s a month to over $700,000 last year. She is someone who we will give her an idea and she will implement it the next day. Okay. All right, I see some questions about cost. We will get into that as well. Okay, so the people who are action takers, where they don't second guess every little thing, they don't mull every tiny little detail over and fall into analysis paralysis, right? Those traits would actually prevent someone from ever being successful. Okay, and when there is an opportunity, successful people, they jump. Okay, and when there is an idea and we give them a recommendation, right? We say jump, they say how high. So it's okay if you already have a shop, but we just ask that you stay open-minded. And let's see here. If you are not tech savvy, that's totally fine. No fancy software here, just simple tools, video walkthroughs, and easy to follow steps. And then what if you are not a designer or not creative? Do not worry, you do not need to be. I would say over 80% of our students start like this. And that's why we use templates, Canva walkthroughs, design tutorials, and we have over 40 hours of design tutorials for you. So if you can follow directions, you can grow with us. Okay, now this is interesting. What if you have tried Etsy before and failed? Okay, I would say you did not fail. You simply didn't have a strategy. Okay, and our system has a 94% success rate. This could be your second chance with the right support. Imagine right now, August 1st, kicks off August 1st. Starting August 1st, you have a plan of what to do every day in your shop. You simply follow the plan, right? You follow the plan. And it's not general advice, it's customized for you, for your customer, for your product mix, and you're no longer guessing, what should I do? Like, what do I focus on? Did I do this right? What should I add? Will this product sell? Should I go for trends? Should I go for evergreen? Should I mix in this product? Should I do only one type of product? Should I open a second shop? None of those questions are open-ended questions anymore because you have answers to all of those, right? Starting August 1st, everything could change. And when you think about it, we are how many days away from Q4? Is anyone counting? Okay. How many days away are we from Q4, right? It's almost August. You just have August and September. So it's not much time. We have about 8 to 10 weeks, 8 to 9 weeks, I would say right now. We don't have much time to prepare for fourth quarter. This is the time to do it. Do not delay 1 or 2 months. Okay, so this is your second chance to get the right support. So just because you did the wrong strategies and they didn't work, it doesn't mean you won't be successful on Etsy. It means the wrong strategies didn't work. Of course they didn't. Okay, and for example, 99% of the sellers we have helped, and that's over 4,000 people, they were missing the customer first strategy when they join us. And that's the foundation of everything here. So most likely, you're failing because you didn't have the correct steps. It's like if someone gave you an IKEA chair and they gave you directions for a table instead of a chair, of course, it's not going to turn out well, right? Okay, I see some questions. I want to start a print on demand shop. What percent of your students do print on demand? I would say about 60% do print on demand, but sometimes they will mix it with digital, hand-picked, handmade, or sourced. Is there hope for a shop that isn't new? Can you provide direction or advice that I should start new? Absolutely. That's actually what we go through right in module 3, where we talk about opening your shop or creating a new shop or fixing your current shop. We actually give you really clear guidelines on what to do. Wow, look at this in the chat. This is amazing. I'm going to share this. I hope that's okay. Laura Clark, she says, before the class, I was skeptical on how high of money I could make. Right now, I'm in the 4th learning module and have changed a lot of things. I can now see myself making $100,000 a year. Laura, that is incredible. That is so incredible, Laura. And this, see, right, she was skeptical. Maybe you're skeptical right now how much money you can make. She's just in module 4. That's like the first 6 hours of the whole thing. Right? She's changed a lot of things. And that's actually the number one piece of feedback I see is I didn't know I was doing so much wrong, or I didn't realize how much I could fix or do. But yeah, there's a lot of people cheering Laura on here. That's amazing. Laura, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. So if you are in a place where you're relating to Laura and you're like, I don't know. I can't even imagine making $100,000. I'm skeptical. You guys, she was skeptical too. She was skeptical too. And now look at her. She can see herself making $100,000 with Etsy. Okay, 13 of you have decided there's something more for your shop. There's more potential. It's time to get unstuck. That's amazing. Okay. I do see some questions here. So let's talk about the financial part. Do you need inventory or a big budget? Not at all. If you have a low budget, we could focus on low cost entry options like digital, print on demand. And we can start with that if your budget is very low. And as far as our program, right, our 3-month sprint and the 9 months of maintenance coaching, that is an investment in your business, right? Now, we have a variety of options available in ways that we can customize this, especially with like a monthly payment amount that can fit your needs. And ultimately, if you are determined to be a successful business owner, we do not want your financial constraints to be the thing that prevents you from doing what you were meant to do here. Okay. We don't want your budget to be what stops you from getting the tools and the knowledge that you need. And the investment is much less than you want to be making on Etsy. The entire idea is for you to invest a little so you can make more. And right now, right, by using the wrong strategies, it's actually costing you a lot of money. It's interesting. Today, I talked to someone who she was putting about an hour a day on average into her shop. She made $95 in a month, and she wasn't sure if she wanted to, grow it significantly or what. And I said, you're making about $3 an hour. We're making $3 an hour. Like, your time is worth something. And to everyone here, right, we all have a reason we're doing Etsy. Some of it's time freedom, some of it's financial freedom, some of it's, not being handcuffed to a desk, some of it's to be able to retire. But your time is worth something. Your time is your most valuable asset. That's something you can't get back. So if you are working tirelessly on your shop, and if you look at your profit every month in your shop and divide it by the number of hours you put into researching, to watching YouTube videos, to going on, different software tools and researching more, you might be making pennies. You literally might be making pennies. Okay. So my encouragement to you is, if you realize your time is worth more, at least book a call with us to learn what it would look like for your specific shop to go through this process. Or if you don't have a shop, then we can take you through what it looks like for a brand new beginner, and you can see what it looks like to go through this process. Now, I haven't even gone through results, by the way, and I do want to show you my favorite part of every single month. We did see the results from Laura, But I want to show you where we go through that. And this is right here in the platform itself. So these are just June results. You can click on them. Like this person made $66,000. This is actually low price point digital products. This person does crochet, almost made it to 30 sales. This person, Etsy, Amazon, and a website, 20 to 25% increases, 15K. Right? And you can see the different increases in traffic. Right? So you can scroll through. Some people are just at a starting point, just opening a shop, right? And that's great too. So everyone's at a different level, but you are surrounded by people, right? This person, oh, this is interesting. I made 200 plus sales in the last 2 months. I had less than 200 sales before I started with the course over a year and a half, and now they're at over 200 sales in 2 months. So we want to see growth and improvement. Like this person, right, went from 257 to 1300 the next month. She wants to double the next month. So like imagine a goal that's realistic of doubling your sales every month now that you have different strategies. And everyone sells different things. You can scroll through, you can click on their name, see what they sell. But what we want to see is this increase, right? There's no way this person's being shadow banned, right? That's what we want to see. Okay, so if these results are interesting to you, and maybe, maybe it's helpful to even read some of these, but, not doing any ads has been helping. What other coach is saying that, right? What other coach would tell you that? I can't believe this is all happening after years of dreaming about it. Right? And she's doing her own trend research because we showed her how. I'm grateful to the coaches for encouraging me along the way. And you have people cheering you on. It's truly a community. This is truly, truly special. Look at this, the trajectory. What if that was your shop? Most of you don't have a shop that looks like this right now. Okay, so if you are realizing, I know I need help. I know I need to learn if this is the right fit. Just book the free call, right? You don't have to make a decision right now. You just have to decide to get some sort of help, right? Or to be open to help, or to be open to a different way, right? We want to be seeing increases. No matter what level you come in at, we want to be seeing increases. Okay. This is so inspiring. And let's see. Yeah, conversion rate, right? We focus on all the metrics, not just revenue, but profit, conversion rate, everything. And this person, oh, this is really sweet. 46% increase over last year. 4K was an easy 4,000 to earn because I learned to flip switches. Imagine if you knew how to flip switches. Her baby graduated high school. And she said, I'm so happy that I have a purpose in a growing business. So many parents in my situation often feel lost and have nothing to do. Thanks to me running into Dylan on Instagram, I'm well prepared for my next chapter, both emotionally and financially. This is why, guys, this is why I do this. We want to see everything, right, moving in the right direction. We want to see change, transformation, getting unstuck, right? That's what we're looking for. Right? That is what we're looking for. And some people come in at a much higher level. This person has just joined us, and she joined because her revenue was way down, right? She still did 34,000 in the month, but she says, I'm feeling the improvements in my shop since joining. She's starting to see improvement in revenue and conversion rate. So her revenue it's still down, right? Because it's not a get rich quick scheme, but it's improving. It's not as bad as it was, and it's getting better and better and better. And we even have a situation with her where we have an incredible strategy for getting traffic to specific listings that I won't get into. But yeah, this is why we do this. Okay. So we have a couple more questions. Okay, is this just for moms? No, definitely not. Definitely not. It is All ages, genders, backgrounds, experience levels, everyone is welcome. It does not matter what you want to sell, what your background is, what your experience is, anything at all. Can you join if you live outside the US? Yes, our Etsy is global, and so is our community and our team. We have a global coaching team, over 35 countries from our student base. And what if you're not sure that this will work for me? Can anyone relate to this? Okay, you don't have to be 100% sure. And that is what our results guarantee is for. We guarantee that after 1 year from us, we guarantee that after 1 year of working with us, if you're still not seeing results, we will work with you for free until you do. Okay, 16 of you have realized you need some guidance. That is amazing. Okay, so if you're not sure it will work for you, that's totally fine. But remember, thinking, right, the current status quo of thinking about this keeps you safe. And deciding is the thing that will move you forward. Deciding is the only thing that will move you forward. And I would ask, how long have you been thinking about improving your shop? Because growth is only going to happen outside of your comfort zone. And if you are sitting here scared right now, I want you to think about this. 1 year from now, right? It's summer of 2026. Oh my gosh. You're another year older. I'll be 35. Oh man. You're another year older, but another year not closer to what you want. You're stuck in the same spot. A year has passed. You've not gotten closer to your financial goals. You've not gotten closer to your why. And that is depressing and that is sad. And that what this program helps you do is get another year older, but another year further ahead. And honestly, in a year, you should be learning, really, this is for me 13 years of e-commerce experience. In 1 year, you will learn so many years. So many years. Someone is mad. Stop it. I will be 50 in November. Yes. No ageism here. No ageism here. Okay. But remember, the best time to plant a tree, right? That's 20 years ago. And the next best time is now. And if you have questions, if you're like, I still have questions, we have answers. So come to the call. We've done this thousands of times, and we can answer all of your questions on the call. And think about this. When I started my shop, I was 25. I was 25. I made my first $1 million in profit by the time I was about 31. That's 6 years, right? It took about 6 years to get the $1 million in profit. So imagine this. 6 years, how old will you be in 6 years? Don't put it in the, you don't have to put it in the chat unless you feel like it. 6 years from now, imagine that you had another $1 million in profit. What would that do for you? I didn't expect Etsy to have that type of power, right? It took me a while to recognize that all you have to do was apply these corporate e-commerce business principles to the platform. But 6 years and $1 million in profit, that changed everything for us. That changed literally everything. We were able to invest in 7 different doors, which is shorthand for like real estate, rentals, properties. We were able to have my husband retire from the military, right? And he and I say retire, I shouldn't say retire. He was able to leave the military and forego retirement. Okay. Jessica asked, why do I need to be qualified to take a quick class? Why can't I just sign up and run with it? Jessica, so this is a great question. I used to let anyone sign up, and we stopped doing that because we want to make sure that anyone that joins our program, that we've met them, that we understand what their goals are, that their expectations and goals are aligned with reality, and that they're willing to do the work. I used to let some people in who, they're like, yes, I've done Amazon for a month. I did drop shipping for a month. And now I know I want to do Etsy. What do we think happened with their results? They go 1 month by month, they do a new side hustle. Of course, they're going to say, it didn't work, right? Well, we didn't even hardly do the work. Or there could be people who think, I'm going to do this program and I'm really excited and I'm going to buy it. And then they're the type of people who don't follow through on anything. So in that case, getting business coaching is not usually the best fit if entrepreneurship isn't the best fit. Okay. And I want to also let you know, we've built out our company to 40 people at this point. 40 people at this point. There are 2 to 3 coaches plus myself assigned to you every day. You have access to coaching 7 days a week for an entire year, not to mention an accountability call every week. Okay. 260 Zoom coaching calls. Do you really think you could fail with that level of support? So we've tried to make our system fail-proof for people who are willing to do the work. Okay. And the only way to fail here is to quit, right? It's to not do the work. So this is your strategy call. This is your time to figure out if this is the right next step for you. We can go over customizations on the call, right? And we have different payment options. We even had one option where nothing was due for 30 days. So it all depends on the person. So the monthly cost and the breakdown of things and the customizations that we can add or remove, we can really make quite a few customizations here. So the next best thing is really to take your time, right? It's your time with us to go through what this looks like, to see if it's the right fit. And if it's not the right fit, we will not let you join, full stop, right? Because your results are a reflection of us and our program, and we only want people here who will succeed, okay? And we will advise you what's best for you, right? What's best for you, because if this is not the best thing, and I've done this quite a bit, I will send you to my YouTube videos, or I'll send you to some podcast things to listen to, right? But if our proven system and playbook, which has worked for thousands of people of all ages and experience levels, if that would not work for you, if you would not be the right fit for it, we would let you know. Okay. So I'm not even asking you to make a decision. I'm just asking you to book a call to see if it's the right fit, right? And that's all. Okay. So I also want to remind you, this is not just about Etsy here. This really is about your life and your why. And we all have reasons we're doing Etsy. Okay, 18 of you have decided, I know I need some help. Okay, for anyone who's still here, go ahead and let me know why you are doing Etsy. Put it in the chat. Go ahead and put that in the chat. Okay, is it freedom, financial freedom, time freedom? Is it purpose, to have a reason to keep going, a reason to wake up in the morning? Is it something to make you feel like you've accomplished something besides doing the laundry? Is it having pride in your creativity? Is it proving to yourself that you can do it? Is it proving to your husband you can do it? Molly, to be your own boss. Kylie, more time with your family. Sandra, another source of income. Another source of income, that's great. Is it to save for retirement? Is it to put your kids in activities? Leslie, financial freedom. Do you want to be handcuffed to a desk? Do you want to make other people wealthy? Or do you want to make yourself wealthy? Megan, you enjoy being creative. You're a mom. You want something that's yours. Mandy, you want a creative outlet. You want to make money with it. Kathy, remote financial freedom. Good point, right? Location independence, location freedom, right? I need to earn income to support me and my husband in our retirement years. That's what Mickey said. Danielle, I just don't want to work under anyone to anyone's orders. Molly wants to pay off debt. Jessica wants to work from home to live a life you don't need a vacation from. Dan, all of the above. Andrina, to quit your office job and pay medical bills. Stephanie, Marine veteran, I suffer from PTSD and have trouble leaving the house. I love being creative and was told about starting an Etsy to try and work from home doing what I love. That gave me goosebumps. Thank you for your service, Stephanie. Mandy, you want to live on a beach and have sand where you don't want it. Location freedom for Megan. Michelle, you took a new position at work. It's very stressful and you have to take a pay cut to take weekends off. Wow. I don't have the creative part in my new position and I want something that's more fun for you and to pay off debt. Galena, you had a dream to make your own brand and you did. Natasha, I love all of these. Amen. It's my time. This is a sign. Yes. And Jen, doing what you love to make an income. Amazing. To have enough money to retire, to have something fun and creative. The thing is, you guys, like we all have a really important reason why, right? And let that fuel, right, your courage to just take the next step, right? Because all of these things require that you change your actions immediately. All of these goals that you listed in the chat require that you make a pivot. Doing what you're doing is not moving you closer to these goals to get further, faster, closer to them, right? All of these goals are worthy of working hard for. And all of these goals are worthy of being courageous for, right? It takes guts to learn something new, right? It takes guts to recognize I'm going to be uncomfortable so that in the future I can be comfortable. And for me, right, going from age 25 to 31, making $1 million in profit, that was so uncomfortable. My husband was deployed. I'm literally packaging orders next to the bathtub with my toddler. My hands are bleeding, right? I was doing physical products. My hands are bleeding. It's COVID times, right? The times were crazy and unstable. I had no family around. I had no friends around. I was just working incredibly hard, 14 to 16-hour days, right? And it was so hard, so uncomfortable. I was solving problems. I was dealing with crazy customers. It was hard, but I made $1 million in 6 years in profit. And my husband, right, came home from his deployments and looked at me and said, wow, right? We all know the look when your spouse is proud of you. We all know the look when they look at you and they're proud, right? They're proud and they're thinking, wow, they're mine. Like she's mine, he's mine. That feeling, right? Making that spouse proud, making your family proud, making your parents proud, making your kids proud, right? Knowing that you are doing something hard, right? And seeing an outcome that average work, right? The average person who gets lazy and tired and burnt out or feels like, oh, I'll come back to this next week, or I'm going to pause and take a step back. No, you push through that. When you have the right steps and the right strategies, right? When you have the right steps and the right strategies, it's easy. It's much easier to do. What's hard and what most of you might be in right now is the situation where I have no idea what to do. I don't know how to fix my shop. I don't know what levers to pull. I don't know what to sell. That's hard, right? Now you're not just trying to build a business, but you have no idea how to do it, right? At least do the hard work. That's the right work, right? And that's what this program is about. That's what the Etsy Seller Sprint is about. It's giving you 12 weeks of a plan followed by maintenance coaching to keep you on track. And that's what this is really about. That's what this is all about. So if you book your call, right, let us know why you're doing this. We will help you work towards that. We will help you build this business because that's what we love, and making the impact. I hope you could see that from our results. Making the impact. That is why we all do this. Okay. So 10 bonus spots will be getting not just the 40% off the maintenance coaching, but also our trend forecast for 2025. That is nowhere else. Also, the extra month free of maintenance coaching and the 40% off and access to the ultimate Etsy virtual experience. Okay. So before I leave, just really think about that why. What is it that you're looking for? And imagine that thing, right, 1 year from now, not being any closer to it. That is heartbreaking, right? And Remember, if what you've been doing is working to get you closer to that goal, you wouldn't even be here. So let's just do something that does work. Just something that does work. And this is a proven plan. It's not some get rich quick scheme. It's hard work. It's real business principles. And we hold your hand through it. You have 2 to 3 coaches plus myself. 20 of you have realized I need some help. So just book your free call. It's totally free. There's no commitment. There is no pressure, just a real plan for your shop. Okay. Okay. Amazing. All right. So there you go. Again, if you're like, how do I do this? You just click on this and you'll choose a time. Looks like there's only 3 times left now for tomorrow. We have some more times for Wednesday and a few more for Thursday. So you'll click on a time and then you'll put in your name, put in what's closest to your situation, your shop link, your revenue or no revenue, and your goal so we understand what you're looking to do, and then your phone number so we can text you to remind you. It is literally that simple. Okay, amazing. Okay, perfect. And the call is totally free. And we can, yeah, I see Suzanne's asking, wants a specific cost. Unfortunately, Suzanne, there is not a specific cost because we can create custom options for you. And some people, right, I would recommend a very, very different thing than I would recommend for you. Right. So it just really depends on what you're looking for, how much support you're looking for. Exactly. How much support you're looking for and what your budget looks like. And, we try to give you as much support as you feel you can afford. Okay. How long is the call? The call is about 45 minutes. I would block an hour just so you don't feel rushed. And then if there is a spouse or anyone else involved in making decisions, just bring them to the call. Yeah. Yeah, because we've helped people from all different backgrounds and with all different budgets. We actually signed up someone who was they were actually homeless at the time, and they were building a shop to move their business forward, and or building a shop to move their financial situation forward, I should say. And they didn't really have a business or revenue coming in, and they were homeless. It was a very sad situation. So what we would recommend for them, right? It's not really what we'd recommend for other people. Okay, amazing. All right, I hope this was helpful, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you on the call. 20 of you have decided you are ready for a change, that you do not want the last half of the year to be like the first half of the year, and I will see some of you very soon. It does look like, let me see here. I can actually show you, take you behind the scenes on this. Okay. Okay, cool. Duran, Lucretia, Hazel, Alice, Kelly, Cindy, Ashley, Stephanie, Brian, Morgan, Katie, Adriana. You guys are all tomorrow still. Brianna, Russell, Andrea, Crystal, Christine, Sharon, Dan. We're all still tomorrow. Who else? Leticia, Lois, Marissa, Megan, Jessica, Smari, Pamela, Carla. Okay, and then Wednesday we have Jessica, Denise, Leslie, Margot, Gwen, Yulia, Bezod, Rose, Sandy, Galena, Shanna. Amazing, guys. So this is literally your time. All these people, they're going to have a completely different back half of the year. Katie, Thomas, JD, Hunter, Jacqueline, Suzanne, Tanya, Joe, Mariella, Michelle, Sophie, Sandra, Emily, Mandy, Kathy, Michelle, Joy, Julie, Jessica, Nancy. We have a lot of calls booked, you guys. If you are realizing something needs to change, all it takes is taking the next step. So if you have any questions at all, definitely just bring them to the call. It's totally free. You have nothing to commit. You don't have to make a decision right now. Yes, if you book through this workshop, you can get the 40% off. Exactly. We always have payment plans available. We even have an option where nothing is due for 30 days. So that's not available to every country. And that's why I always say there's custom options. Okay, amazing, guys. All right. So I look forward to seeing you on the call soon. And if you have any follow-up questions, just book the call and bring your questions to the call. All right. Thanks, guys.